Oh, hey, didn't see you there. Well, I need to put my doodads down, or as Spider-Man would call them. What was it? I forget. I think it was something like, Gizmo or Goober. It's Goober. I gotta put my goobers down. Well, after the apocalypse started with that, that snappy snap thingy, well, things have been glitching, like, I don't know. It's been, like, glitching out, phasing in and out, kind of like things are in each other. I don't know. It's crazy. But I didn't see it there. But, welcome back. It's been a while. It's been like 6 months since, the apocalypse started, and things have just been getting worse. So, look at this. I don't know where this came from. It's from the apocalypse, I'll tell you that. But, Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, 9 out of 10. It's pretty good. Very enjoyable movie. I wasn't excited for it because I was kind of mad that Miles Morales was getting a movie before my favorite Spider-Man, Spider-Man 2099, aka Miguel O'Hara, Mexican, so that's why he's my favorite. But that's besides the point, because very enjoyable movie, because the characters all very likable. Well, the main characters like Miles Morales, um, Aaron, which is Miles Morales' uncle, his dad, which is a cop, and Peter Parker, like regular 616 Peter Parker, all great characters. Gwen, okay. But the movie kind of starts and it's kind of a little generic. New kid at school, doesn't really fit in, and he does some. And like his dad wants him to be a great person, but he's like, "Hey, I'm cool and hip, so I'm gonna sneak off and hang out with my cool uncle, who's not that good of a guy. He's kind of a criminal." So he goes off with his uncle and sees this cool place, and they kind of spray paint like some what's that game called? Crap. Jet Set Radio. It's like some Jet Set Radio stuff, and then he gets bit, and it was really I thought it was funny. A lot of the jokes in this movie really land. Like I was hearing chuckles and laughters from the back of the theater, and I was like, yeah, that's funny. But yeah, it was like he gets bit and he just like brushes it off like nothing happened. Like every time you see Spider-Man get bitten, like in the comics, he's like like it's like a big panel or whatever. But now he's like, but like they made it all dramatic. It's like, yeah, all was funny. But yeah, and that's how he gets his powers. Like nothing big. He just gets bit by a spider in the sewer or whatever. Oh no, in the subway, and he goes back there for whatever reason. I think it was like he needed to get. He went down there to see why he got these powers, because like at school he like meets Gwen Stacy or Spider Gwen or Ghost Spider, whatever you want to call her. He meets her and she's like, "Why are you sticking, like, bro, this is weird," and he's like naked and like pigeons and stuff. It's like it's all weird. Like his introduction to his powers, like it was like Sam Raimi Spider-Man, where he gets the powers and he's sticking to everything, but it was more comedic. It was just funny seeing him like, "Oh crap, I'm stuck to the wall, I can't get off," like that. It wasn't anything like the Amazing Spider-Man where he goes off and skates around in an abandoned warehouse, which is stupid. So yeah, it was funny. And then he goes back to the subway to see what caused it. But then he sees like that universe's Spider-Man or Peter Parker fighting who was he fighting? He was fighting Green Goblin, who was this ginormous beast, like Jesus Christ. He was massive. He was like a goblin. Like he was like Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood, if you've ever watched that, when Envy turned into her real form, which is like this ginormous lizard. That's what he looked like. Just look it up. I don't know, but like that's what he looked like, and like they're fighting and whatever, and then Spider-Man sees him and it's like, "You're like me, like we both got this thingamabob," and he was like, "I'll teach you the ropes. Let me just handle this real quick," and he got everything down, and then like he does it. Then they activate the reactor, which makes all the universes go haywire. And yeah, that's basically how all the universes collide and come together. And because of that, like everything just blows up, and he's caught underneath the rubble, and Kingpin just comes up and straight up just punches him into the ground, and he's dead. My man's dead, and Miles is like, my God, the only person that could save this just died. What am I doing here? And instead of shutting down the machine like he was told to, no, he wasn't told to. But actually, yeah, he was told to. Instead of shutting down the machine like he was told to, and like reversing everything, he just runs away. Because understandable, there's this scary purple guy called the Prowler, pouncing around trying to kill him, man. My man's Miles, and Miles is understandably frightened, so he runs away. And like then he meets and then all across the news it's like Spider-Man's dead, and everyone finds out he was Peter Parker, and he's like a martyr or whatever, and like it's like, yeah, that's cool. But the dynamic duo of Peter Parker and Miles is probably what makes this movie so great. Just because, like, they're, like, a master and, like, prodigy, and they're teaching each other. They're, like, teaching each other how to become better people. Because at this point, Peter Parker is down in the slump. He's old. He's been there for so long. And his life is just the worst at this point. Aunt May died. He's divorced. It's stupid for him. And, you know, and same thing with Miles. His life is crap right now, and he doesn't even know how to use his powers. So, they're, like, teaching each other how to do stuff. And that's what makes the movie so great. However, the character development for other characters is kind of bad. Like, the villains? Like, the whole motivation for starting up the reactor is just kind of cliche, because Kingpin wants his family back, but his family left him and also died. Just because, like, they saw him beating up Spider-Man. Not, like, when he died, but, like, in the past. And, like, they just died. They died in a car crash. I shouldn't be laughing. But, yeah, they just died, and he wants them back, which is, like, understandable. They don't go into it. They just kind of show it, and that's it. The other villain, Scorpion's in there for some reason. He doesn't do much. Dr. Octopus, or she's a woman. He's a woman in this movie. She's just kind of scary, but she doesn't really do much. She, like, fights them, but she doesn't, like, get any character development herself. She's just kind of there fighting them, and probably being the biggest thorn in their, you know, out of all of them. Yeah, that's about it for the villains. Tombstone's there. He chokes someone, and that's about it. He chokes someone. Oh, also, Aunt May, she's, like, not grieving at all. Like, at all. I don't 100% know. There might have been a scene where she was. I'd have to go get popcorn. So, if she was, I don't know. But for the majority of the time where Aunt May was on screen, she was drinking tea and cracking jokes. Besides the one part where she fought people with the baseball bat to get them out of her house, but whatever. And also, the other Spider-Men or Spider people are just kind of there. They just kind of fight along with them. They're not any, like, development. They're not, like, main characters. Like, Spider-Man Noir, he's like second favorite Spider-Man on their Spider-Man 2099. He doesn't really do much. He basically makes jokes, and that's about it. Fights. There's Penny Parker. Only reason why most of us went to go watch that movie, Penny Parker. If you know, you know. And yeah, she just did more of the same. And Spider Pig or Peter Porker or whatever, you same thing, same thing. But Gwen, she just felt underdeveloped, and like the whole relationship with her and Miles is just like underdeveloped and could have gone in deeper. But they also have this ongoing joke where they go over their backstories, and it's kind of funny because they do it at the start. And for Spider-Man from that universe, Spider-Man from 616, Gwen, the three other ones, and then Miles at the end, which was great. What else? Yeah, that's about. Oh, the ending. So for the ending, they kind of just shut down the reactor and everyone goes home, but there was like a big argument on who was gonna stay because everyone in the movie was like, "Yeah, Miles can't do it. He's kind of crap. He kind of can't fight. He kind of can't do stuff." And general consensus, yeah, he can't do anything. He kind of sucks. So they, Peter Parker 616, Peter Parker, was gonna sacrifice himself so that everyone could go home. But in the end, Miles gets his like stuff together and starts going ham and fighting with them. Besides when he gets like kicked around by Kingpin, because like Kingpin like outmatches him like tenfold, because he still kind of sucks. Yeah, that's about it. Oh, the Prowler. The Prowler was probably the best villain in the entire movie, just because the dynamic of him actually being his uncle Aaron makes the whole thing a lot better. So when he dies, and you can see why Miles is sad. That's his uncle. He idolizes him, even though he's probably not the best person to idolize. You know. And seeing him die in his arms is like Uncle Ben to everyone else. Uncle Ben or Peter Parker for Gwen. Yeah. And so the death of Prowler is probably what's best. Oh, and his dad finally takes some initiative and just kind of scolds him and tries to get him in high gear and saying that he believes in him and thinks that he can do whatever he wants to do, and that's why he pushes him and so hard on him, which I thought that was a nice speech. I thought that was pretty good. And that's what makes him go out with the rest of the team. It shuts down the reactor. But yeah, they allude to a sequel at the end credit scenes, which I was very happy for because it was Miguel O'Hara, and I was like, oh my god, it's Miguel O'Hara. My man is cool. And there's this random girl with him. I don't know who she is. I'll look into that, but she's probably from 616 2099 too. But yeah, he's gonna time jump or warp into universes. Like it's like at the end of the movie, he warps into the old 1960 Spider-Man cartoon, and they reenact the meme. You know, the one like they're both two Spider-Man are pointing at each other, and I thought that was funny. Yeah, but Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, pretty good. 9 out of 10. I wish it gave more development on the villains. Besides just the Prowler, who wasn't even the main villain, he was just kind of a side villain to move the plot along. But he was great. He was actually kind of scary. There was this theme that played every time he was on screen, and I thought that was cool. It was like or whatever, and like there was some jump scares with him for some reason, but he's called the Prowler, so I guess that kind of makes sense. It kind of spooked one of my friends. I know, what a baby. Like, come on, it's a movie for kids. How are you gonna get scared by some jump scares? But yeah, also, once consistent snow falls, Finding Bigfoot season 2 is back underway. Also, next movie review. What's the next big movie coming out? I don't know, but it will be coming. Alright, see you in the next one. Alright, probably won't see you for a while. I'm just saying.